Fight!
Hello, and welcome to this Final Boss Fight live stream of D&D. My name is John, and I am joined by Obsolete Goat.
Hello! Thank you everyone who said hi to me during UK Gamescom. Meant a lot. I'll be using the wheelchair rules from Mustang Art. Thank you again, Mustang Art, for letting us use them.
We are also joined by Rope Trader Enthusiast.
Hello! I have a sword.
We are joined by Smitty.
Good evening, everyone. Are you all sitting comfortably?
And we are joined by the Quest Giver.
Greetings, travellers. It's good to see you.
And we are here to play some Dungeons and Dragons for you in Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And thankfully I've already checked that the audio is doing the little flicky flick flings, which means I don't have to redo that intro 3 times. Again.
That was a bit of a problem.
It could be worse. You could have done a whole stream with no audio.
I've done that before too.
It's really painful when it's happened.
Yep.
I didn't mind that so much. It meant I got like 2 dry runs of equip.
Last time, well, the last game session, we very last minute decided to not run, as about 5 of us were separately dying from different plagues, and one of those plagues being UK Games Expo.
Oh.
So instead of doing a game, last session, we instead ran some shoppings. I need to work out why my mouse is double clicking everything. It's getting very annoying. We ran a shopping session. And looked into which items of value people wished to purchase.
I ended up dressed as a bird. Not one, me the person.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And for anybody watching along, there is now a poll in the chat, as suggested by It Is Ben again, for who is the bestest, most greatest barbarian of the party.
Oh, bet it's me.
I apparently
Perfectly balanced as all things should be.
I sided with Chaos for this poll, apparently.
1%. Where is the 1% when you need them?
And so we are going to do a little bit of role-playing around the things that have happened over the course of the shopping episode that we had last time. But we'll sort of skip past a lot of the actual need for shopping and haggling and things, because you've already paid for everything. Nefira, you went round and you bought a lot of equipment and gear and things. Do you want to just have a quick rundown of the mundane items you purchased?
I didn't really get that much, crossbow, some ammo, healing potions, lots of those, because, well,
It's you guys.
seem to be lacking on healing. And the best one of all was a cloak of protection.
Ooh.
Because, damn it, the man needs a good cape.
Okay.
Very fly.
And I think, other than that, pretty much, Woel, you were going to look into buying a hat, but have instead crafted a pair of sunglasses for Chakos.
Can I also get him a hat as well?
Yeah, I mean, you find a fairly cheap, wide-brimmed hat
Good.
Oh. I'll give someone else the money to go buy that for Chakov. So.
You also, as a group, went in search of a magic item shop, or separately at several different occasions have stumbled upon the same magic item shop. You found a shop in a magical district of the town, an alleyway known as Silver Throne Way, an arcane district filled with elemental forges and skilled alchemists, the streets outside filled with a yellow alchemical smoke. The shop itself is a single-story building with stone walls and several stained glass windows, and above the door you can see two small gargoyles that turn to watch as you enter the shop. And neighbouring it on one side is a verdant garden, overflowing with vines and other plant life, which the smoke that permeates the neighbourhood doesn't entreat into. As you enter the shop, piled high with all manner of unusual items collected from all corners of the world, a short female elf dressed in fairly simple clothing oversees the shop by the name of Marla, who explains that she was once an adventurer and is now selling off items she no longer needs, as well as collecting adventurers' wares from various places and selling off equipment this way. Nefira, you purchased from her a cloak of protection, which she explains to you once belonged to a half-orc hero by the name of Raccoona, who perished in the Darkwood jungle, or at least that's a story she tells people when they purchase things.
I have a sneaky suspicion that that's a bit of a fabrication.
She sounds like a used car dealer. She's like, this was owned by a little old lady. Never went far.
Vaesen, you have bought from Marla a mithril plate armor and a moon-touched greatsword.
Oh yeah.
The mithril plate armor was once owned by a half-orc fighter known as Himiro, who fell against Zyram the Lich, and the moon-touched greatsword is said to have been created to slay the Leviathan of the Sea of Stars. And Nuri, who isn't here, bought an Amulet of the Devout, a finely crafted item recovered from the barrow of the Wraith King.
I know this wasn't the name of the person who used to have my armor, but I can't not think that I am now wearing the armor of Himbo.
Himbo armor.
I mean, Himiro probably was a himbo. If that helps.
Everyone loves
give
that.
us a flex. Does it like form fit?
Yeah, it does.
Dunk. Why did a rivet fly off?
Also, the poll ended in a 3-way tie.
Yay!
Everyone is the bestest, most greatest barbarian.
Damn. Yeah, I thought you'd like.
Underscum.
Everyone's special, but no one is.
Underscum.
Yeah.
You've purchased already a magical tattoo.
Yep.
Would you like to describe what this looks like on Underscum?
Because they were trying to tell me that it had to symbolise, and the only thing I could think of I've basically got a giant rectangular shield
Okay.
tattooed onto my left arm. Sort of like the Romany ones, with a nice blue color, because I think that one doesn't look too threatening.
And did you purchase something else, or am I...
I tried to get something else, but I couldn't get it because either they didn't have it or it was too expensive.
Okay.
Because I wanted to get something which would protect my mindy from any other times the nefarious drow tried to take over my head again.
Now, you had also mentioned in the shopping episode that you wished... A helicopter going overhead. You wished to purchase an item that would allow you to...
Stay awake.
Stay awake.
Yep.
Better.
Because if I couldn't protect my mindy, I needed to stay awake so that they couldn't get me in my sleep.
So Marla thinks for a few minutes upon hearing this request, and I think I have just the thing. And she goes over behind the counter, and you can hear cluttered rearranging of piles of stock behind the counter.
I was just waiting to just goes behind and just hear a kettle boiling, coffee beans being ground down.
And she pulls out a small jewelry box, wooden engraved top. And she opens it and shows it to you, and it's a pendant with a green emerald carved into the shape of Corellian's holy symbol. Which, if I could look up that, I would tell you what
star.
it is. It is a star. So it's a pendant in the shape of a star. This is it's a magic item typically for an elf, that would allow them to cut the length of their trance in half.
Let's see.
I think for someone who sleeps, such as yourself, it would allow you to take on the trance of an elf instead, allowing you to get your full long rest in a trance of 4 hours. It would cut the time that you need to be inactive in half. And an elven trance, you don't lose consciousness.
Oh.
You are aware of your surroundings. And
That
so
sounds
if this
perfect.
works how I think it does, it's difficult to say because it's not necessarily designed for your biology, but it should work.
And if it doesn't work, can I bring it back to you?
Yes. If it doesn't work, we can sell it to an elf.
In which case, no harm, no foul.
So I can let this go for 50 gold pieces?
Deal. So immediately gets out of 50 gold.
And she sells you this emerald star that you can now mark onto your character sheet. You could if I'd actually made one for D&D Beyond. You can now think that it's added to your character sheet.
I'll leave it for now. Gotcha. Then we'll put that on later.
But basically, you can now, when taking a long rest, trance like an elf.
Very nice. That'll save me from those nefarious drow.
Don't they only have to trance for like an hour?
4 hours.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, elven trances are 4 hours long, but you don't lose they don't lose consciousness. They can still dream in a sense, but it's not the same as sleeping.
Ooh.
But speaking of that, Vaesen.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, after a busy day of shopping, you all head back to your various homes and shop fronts and sundry, and lock doors and head to your various bedroom setups, whether that's in the basement of Troll Skull or one of the finer rooms in Troll Skull, which I think Vaesen and Underscum both have bedrooms within Troll Skull Manor.
Yep.
Or a separate shop, and you all take a rest. Underscum, it is at this point that you discover that you do, in fact, you are able to attune to the magic of this amulet. And you sort of sit cross-legged on the bedroll that you use in Trollskull Manor. And your mind wanders, but you are aware of your surroundings. Images form, but they don't overwrite a sense of being able to feel what is around you. And you wake up 4 hours after you went to bed, feeling fully refreshed and awake, and you then realise it's the middle of the night.
Oh. Okay. There's no bed for it. I have to find something to do.
Vaesen.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep finds you.
Yay.
And
roll initiative.
Yeah, wait. Why do I feel like sleep is a proper noun in this case?
Sleep finds you, and you drift. And what sort of things does Vaesen normally find in his dreams?
Well, because he grew up at the monastery, a lot of his dreams are about his path to ascent, the ideal of the path of ascension. So, fantasies that are probably common to many adventurers of meeting dragons, gaining their boons, going on glorious adventures to prove his worth, and the rare occasional super dream is like the whole idea of actually transforming into a dragon. Like,
okay,
if this wasn't classified under a religious organization, this would be considered a terrifying obsession. Somehow, because it's under a religious organization, it's apparently okay.
You'll find that happens a lot.
It's a one-man cult, it's fine.
No, I'm really not.
Snippets of some of these dreams of your time with the monastery come and go this evening, and the normal sort of passage of sleep, and you don't necessarily remember everything that happens. And at one point, a vivid image that does stick in your memory when you awaken the next morning starts with you looking at Waterdeep from a distance. And
Okay.
in this vision that you have, you are flying towards the city. You're quite high up in the air. And
Okay, that's cool.
you are approaching across the water towards the harbour of the city.
Ooh.
And you can feel wings on your back flapping, and you know
Having one
that
of
you
those
are
dreams.
you are flying under your own winged power. And then you tilt down and head towards the water, and the water rushes up towards you very quickly, and you for a minute panic because the water is coming at you very quickly, and then you hit it and you pass through it, and you're now under the water and you can breathe and it's fine, and you can see boats, shipwrecks under the water. And in this large form that you now find yourself in this dream, you start diving towards these shipwrecks and pulling them open, pulling them apart to find the treasure within. And a voice just rings in your head. Find me. Vaesen, find me. And that's when you wake up.
Oh god. So Vasen's gonna have so many reactions to this. Like there's like ecstasy moment of going, hang on, I haven't had one of these dreams since I've come to Waterdeep. This is awesome. Also, that was more vivid, and oh wait, what? Remembering that last bit. Because this is like someone being told by Jesus, hey, come find me, dude, for Vaesen. It's just like, whoa. Like, I imagine Underscum, if Underscum's still in his room, I apologize, this is going to be very loud. There is just the mad scramble to get all his kit together and charge down to the main area of Trollskull Manor to grab whatever breakfast is easy on hand so that he could just, like, charge out to the harbour. Just loud but wordless. Just charge out.
I mean, Underscum and Neferi, you're likely to be at Trollskull, along with Nuri. And you just hear of this very excited running down the... This is Kid at Christmas, like... But, like, 6.5 foot, 6 foot tall. Kid at Christmas just charging down the stairs.
Gaily outhouse just moving like the
So
clappers.
it's quite
yeah,
obvious when they've run out of the building then.
At this point, they've definitely run down the stairs and into the common room where they probably will
Well,
find
I've
it.
got nothing else to do. I mean, hearing that, I'll probably start going down. Maybe not running, but I'll be going down. I think there must be something interesting down there.
Yeah, as you come down the stairs, I expect you could probably just see him, like, impatiently stepping from foot to foot, waiting for something at the bar, so he's had some breakfast.
If you need the toilet, it's over that way. Did you forget?
Oh, no, it's much better than that. Like, just cereal. Cereal's okay. Please, just something.
If he would come out from behind the bar, be like, could you stop tap dancing? You're right over my head.
It comes out with like a bowl full of cereal with milk and a spoon, and just, here you go.
It's just a full-on, just like... One of the weird things about hanging out with the Dragonborn is people forget that their jaws do not work like other humanoids. Just the full, almost unhinged paw. the bowl is basically still spinning on the counter afterwards as Mason starts to turn to go. She'd be like, "I'll be at the harbour."
Well,
But
it was
I'm
good
like-
with the harbour. What's
but
happening in the harbour?
It
Well-
just sort of takes the spoon that he brought out and just like trundles back into the kitchen with it and puts it.
I don't know if it could hear it, but there will be a moment after Mason's left the door of going, "Thank you." He's just too distracted.
Just sort of turn back to anyone who. What's happening at the harbour?
I don't know. Maybe his boyfriend's coming for a visit or girlfriend. Not gonna judge his sexual preference.
Immediately presumed he was gay.
The bowl still spins on the bar for a few minutes, and then it just sort of picks itself up and floats into the kitchen, and you can hear washing up being started.
I kind of want to know what's happening at the harbour.
Yeah, we should
I
go
pretty much
find-
sort of stood there mulling this over as you're running away.
As he's off, like, build my back
what's
into
happening
it,
at the harbour.
set to like
It
10 mil.
It sounds very exciting. There might be a fair.
What's
I
a
mean, who knows?
fair?
I'm still very tired. You haven't heard of a fair? Oh, Reardon showed me all about the fair. They're fun, like where you play gay and you drink and you eat and then you play more gay. Oh, it's just fun.
I like drinking and eating. I don't know what
You
game.
should come as well. Usually, let's all go to the fair down in the harbour.
Oh,
Okay, let's go see what the kid's so happy about.
You've
Let me go grab my shiny new cloak.
got a new cloak.
Yes, it's a very nice cloak.
Oh, cloak. I thought I was expecting you to come out with a grandfather clock or something.
No, I said cloak.
Well,
It's a bit early
that's
in the
less
morning.
interesting. Never mind. You'll tell me something more interesting than I was sort of just getting usual bits together.
On the way out, swing by, pick up Wall.
No, hello.
We're going to the fair.
Oh, that's nice.
Morning. Well, Vincent's
Morning.
really excited about something in the harbour.
Oh, okay. Chakov, watch the shop for me.
Okay, I will see that it doesn't go anywhere.
Give him a thumbs up.
You're gonna try.
You can trust that it will not go anywhere.
I mean, I don't think it would go anywhere, Chakov. But just, if anyone comes in and tries to take anything that they haven't, if their name isn't in, the book that we talked about, if their name isn't in the book and they've not paid for it,
Name not
They
on
can't-
list, they not get thing.
yeah. But we don't
Yes, you
stab
do.
anyone in my shop. No stabbing.
No.
Or shooting, or impaling, or bludgeoning, or poisoning. What was the other one you asked about? It was...
Slashing.
Spellcasting?
Yeah, no slashing either.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Trust it.
I'm not here, but there will be the brief moment of, did you remember defenestrating?
Did we remember defenestrating? No murdering in my shop or assault of any kind. Okay, Chakov?
No murder in shop.
Good. And assault. No assault.
No murdering in
Trust
shop.
it.
Or assault.
Or assault.
Thank you. Right. See you in a bit.
You're gonna trust it with your shop.
Yes, I'm going to trust him with it. He's been here like 2 nights now and he's not stabbed me.
Not stabbed him at all.
Yeah, he's been very good at not stabbing.
But with a name like Chekhov, surely he would have shot you by now.
There's a lot of guns in my shop and he hasn't... He really doesn't know how to use any of them. We tried doing some training before and he's a really bad aim. I think he
I
needs...
reckon no, that's a performance. He's putting that on.
He's not performance, I terrible shot. I'm much better stab.
Mm-hmm. We'll get your eyes tested, Chakov.
It's more the brightness thing.
Isn't this the same drow whose hand crossbow basically exploded?
Yeah, he's a. We'll work it out. I'm gonna go and check off. If you do all the good today, I'll come back with some treats.
Okay.
You are spoiling that thing.
His name is Chekhov, and I'm allowed to. He's my employee. I'm a good boss, I'd like to think.
You are best boss I have had.
Yeah. I'm not arguing with you about this. Let's just go and find Vason. I'm sure he's doing fair things. You know, what time of year is it? It's fall, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe it is about.
Oh, like legit that there should actually be a fair on them.
It's getting towards that time of year that it's not an unusual expectation that it might be there.
You know, I heard that there's like the Festival of Wonders is on this time of year. It's so cool. There's like all these like cool automatons that everyone brings over. Like one is like rolling down the street at this point. It's so much fun. I was here for one a couple years ago, but I haven't been back since. So I'd love to see what new things people have created.
I want to say that my previous employer was acquainted with an automaton.
Oh, like a Warforged or like?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
I'll have to remember to get his name and introduce you. I reckon you could have fun.
Yeah, I did work with an automaton for a bit, well, Warforged, back in Luskan, but you don't see that many.
No, I'd imagine it'd be very expensive.
Yeah. True.
Basin, during this conversation, you've made it to the harbour.
Hooray!
There isn't a fair here.
Oh.
I mean,
That doesn't surprise you, because you're not heading here for one.
No,
You can see the normal workings of the harbour and boats coming and going as they normally do, and the normal busyness of just loading and unloading of goods coming in and out of the port.
So, I think what Vason's going to do is he's going to look for, like, from, like, the harbour front, the most obvious high perch to sort of orientate himself, to start trying to get, like, figure out, based on his dream, where he should try and swim to in the harbour. So, like, some sort of high bluff or accessible building is basically where he's going to go. He's still not quite tracked that he has no magical ability to breathe underwater. This hasn't occurred to him yet. Hopefully it will in time.
I hope we get down to the harbour quick enough so we don't find Vason just floating face down in the harbour, just drowned. We're like,
A drow got him.
he didn't, he just can't swim.
No, it was definitely the drow, because he's drowned.
No. Well, he's going to wheel himself into the harbour.
I told him we'll get you too.
I can't very safely swim. I will, for the record.
Looking at the map of Waterdeep, there isn't near the docks. There isn't sort of a high bluff that you can look down from. The general area around the docks is fairly flat, so you can see out, and you can see over to the two islands that sort of separate Waterdeep from the sea at large, and mean that it can have such a large port area without worry for stormy weather washing away the port front. You can see over to Stormhaven Island with its sort of built up structure, and the long wall that runs along Deepwater Isle, the larger of the two islands. And you know that you could. They regularly run boats out to Deepwater Isle, and you can go and spend some time on the beaches there and look back at the town from that vantage point.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to sort of, still slightly manic and too excited, is going to try and find someone who will take him across the harbour.
Okay. You find, with not much difficulty, a what looks to be a tour boat. A boat that fairly regularly runs. It is getting to the end of the season for it now, because typically it's a sort of summer, an early autumn attraction, because it's obviously the Deepwater Isle is mostly the beach and going across for sun-related experiences. But you do find a tour boat that's being operated, the next one leaving not immediately, but in a short amount of time, allows you to get on, and it's going to be about 5 silver for a return ticket.
I give him the 5 silver. There's not even a moment's hesitation.
The little old sailor. Thank you. Just take a seat at the back of the boat, and we'll be away soon.
Cool. Yeah, Vazen sits at the back of the boat, and as he has been all morning, which I imagine he's basically not even been up an hour by this point. I don't know how fast he got through town, but he's still like, his foot is twitching and tapping the floor. He's like, you've given a small hyperactive child 3 Red Bulls back to back. There's nothing graceful about this level of excitement.
Okay. Everyone else, you arrive at the docks, and you are disappointed to discover the lack of the fare just yet. It's not here.
That doesn't make any sense. And what else could he be so excited about?
I don't know. More looking around for a fast food stall at this point.
I was going to start
I've
looking
been
for
asked, but,
any sign of a basin.
Food's like a good idea. Is there a good pizza stand near here?
Oh, pizza would be so good right now.
Roll me perception checks.
I'm gonna make a sniff check for pizza. Don't worry.
I'm glad you got your priorities sorted.
Well, I can roll that at advantage because it's sniff related. For 16.
16.
17.
Damn, Nefira.
Okay, Nefira, you do spot a little fast food stand that is selling. It does have something akin to a pizza. It's pizza slices.
Is the place called Pizza Cowl by any chance?
Sure, it is now. Underscum, as you sort of passively follow the group towards the fast food place, because that's where everybody else is going, you do spot a boat with tours of Deepwater Isle billboards around it, and you see Vasin very excitedly sitting on the boat.
Nice. And Lacey just start bouncing in for the bus.
Oh, hello. We got another visitor for the Deepwater Isle tour.
So you're the one who's going to take us to the fair. All right, how much is it?
What fair?
Don't. I know he's excited about something, and it's got to be good. So it's got to be a fair, or it's firework, or it's a clown. It's something amazing. I've got to be on. Let's do how much?
It's 5 silver for the boat
Oh,
ride.
so I'm immediately grabbing. I'm getting just as excited now. I can see you're bouncing. I'm getting bouncy as well. Immediately hand over the 5 silver and immediately jump in next to and say, "Oh, what are we gonna? What is it? This is gonna be good, isn't it?"
Vason, Underscum gets on the boat.
There is a very much a quick moment of wait, what the hell did he just say? When he starts talking about a fair, but like it just falls away from his thoughts because he's just like, I'm gonna see a dragon, I'm gonna see a dragon, I'm gonna see a dragon, just in his head, just excited.
Oh, I can't wait for this surprise.
I'm trying to remember how old Vason actually is canonically because I think he's like very early 20s or something like that. Yeah, he's like 22. Like he is probably the youngest in the party by a good way.
I mean, Ick's a lot younger than that.
Yeah, but it's a goblin. That's they age differently.
I'm 27.
I don't think I've actually got an age put down.
Oh god, am I like the responsible adult out of everyone again?
Mason, I pay my taxes. You don't.
I think I'm around the 30s anyway, but yeah.
Wait, what are taxes?
It's like, you don't know what. I have bills.
Taxers.
I mean,
Tax.
Nefiri, you are the elf in the group. You are likely to be the oldest.
Taxers.
Elf.
Are they the sharp things you find on the floor every day?
Wallace just slowly losing the will to live. What? I'm kind of. They're like, oh, they put the sign really high up. What type of pizzas do they have?
They've got the most disgusting one in the universe, and it's Hawaiian. I hear that's revolted across the entire multiverse.
Oh, I don't like that one.
I think here it's labelled as a Cholton.
Even just looking at it, it's like, no, that pizza does not exist. Somehow it has wormed its way through the multiverse. Let's see, we got margaritas, got meat feast.
Ooh, meat feast sounds good.
I'll take a meat feast.
Oh! X, I didn't know you followed us.
I'm here. Hi.
Hello.
The first is immediately like, Jesus Christ!
We're like,
What the
"Ah!"
hell on you?
You invited me.
Wait, what is Ick's movement speed? Because it must be less than 30.
That's a good question.
Because-
I think it is standard 30.
No, he is 30 feet.
Oh wow, he's a fast little guy.
Because they're meant to be quite little fast little scamperers, so
It makes sense.
they're born dexterous.
I don't know why, but in my head, I kind of was assuming that it could be slow, and so you just sort of like randomly grabbed Underscum because Underscum is big enough that it can hold on. Underscum wouldn't notice the extra weight as he's sort of like flapping behind him.
No.
When I was putting my gear on, it basically just clambered on my back. It's just backpack feels a little bit heavier, but never mind. It's going to the bed.
He's a literal loot goblin.
Really is.
Just dangling as an excess bag on my satchel.
So, Wol and Nefira, you purchase pizza slices, and Ick.
Can I get like enough to make a whole pizza in a box, and then we'll have it on the island over?
You want the deep water special? Yes, I think we can. We might not be able to do one flavour, but
Deep water special. Ooh,
As long as there's no chop.
pizza.
no
I
chop.
don't want any chop.
Okay. They throw together a few of the pizzas and put it in a big box and hand it over.
Hey, I'll pay for that. How much is it?
I'm gonna say 4 silver pieces.
4 silver pieces. We'll hand over a gold and take the change.
Okay. And then you see Underscum and Vason have boarded a boat.
We're rocking the boat, baby.
The boat is starting to tilt from side to side a little bit.
I'll roll over.
Yeah, Nefarious is just going to look at it and go, I think I found the boys.
Like, oh, guess there they are. I'll hand you a slice of pizza.
Ooh, extra cheese.
Yes, hello. Welcome to the Deepwater Isle tours. We're apparently very excited to go today.
It's a mystery.
It's 5 silver per person.
Okay. I'll hand over 5 silver.
I will throw 5 silver back over to the guy for the second gig. Can't leave it behind. Vital member of the team.
Well, we do need a good mascot.
Ick climbs into the boat, and the little old man sort of, one moment, trundles off and sort of gets a ramp device that he lays down, and Wol can roll into the boat.
Hell yeah.
Oh, this is going to be so exciting. I'm glad that we all managed to get on boat in time.
I am very happy to have finally been able to use this. This was an investment.
It's always nice for the investment to get well spent.
I'll start handing out slices to Rai.
And I assume, Nefira, you pay the 5 silver and get on the boat as well?
Yeah. Yep, I'm literally just going to stand up next to the mast and stay in the middle as best I can.
Everybody please hold on tight. And there's the boat judders and gets underway, and the sail comes down, and you 5 to 10 minutes sail across the space, and you see
Put your hands in the air. It's more exciting that way. Put your hands in the air.
you see Waterdeep retreating behind you, and you can see a little bit of either side of the large town as you head across the docks, and can see some of the farmlands to the east of the city. Out the south gate area. And you pull up onto another little dock at Deepwater Isle, and the boat moors, and the little ramp is put back in place for Wol to roll out.
Hell yeah.
And the rest of you clamber out of the boat. We leave every half hour.
The Vason's already. There's just dust where Vason used to be.
There must be bouncy circles inside. And just start running after Vason as well.
I'll look back. I'll be like, so there's definitely not a fair here.
Not today.
I think maybe we should ask what all this is about. I was going to roll up the ramp and be like, oh, we're finished with this box. You ever been here?
I'll take it back to the main city for you.
Thank you.
Very generous of you. At this
That's
point,
good.
I'll look down to Ick and be like, Ick, did you put like a load of sugar in Vason's cereal this morning?
He was like this before he even came downstairs.
But then put in
I
ton of
know,
sugar.
but this I feel like if I go back to Troll Skull, we're going to be like a bag of sugar missing.
If we are, it wasn't my fault.
I do love that as an idea that Ick doesn't know what cereal is and is literally just poured a bowl of sugar.
He's had a bowl of sugar milk.
I mean, I'd eat that.
Just got sugar cubes. That's it. There you go. A bowl of sugar cubes.
Well, okay then. I won't blame you if there is anything, Ick.
I do love the idea that you're having this conversation in the meantime. Me and Mason are basically racing to a place where I don't know where it is. I want to be first. I want to be first.
So yeah, Mason is just racing towards the first good vantage point he can see.
Okay.
That then, like, even if it's just like a random ass rock in the middle of the harbour that he can get to via the beach, or a bluff, whatever it is.
Underscum will follow whatever path looks to be ahead, thinking that's where Mason's going.
I think maybe we should, I think he's gonna jump in. Are we, like, witnessing something right now that, like, what was gonna... Mason! Mason!
He said, Faison!
Mason!
Mason!
It takes you about 15-20 minutes to run the length of the first beach. But as you sort of get onto the first beach, you can see that in the centre of the isle there is a cliff that overlooks the harbour. And that is probably going to be the best vantage point from what is safe and publicly accessible of Deepwater Isle. There is the city wall that encloses the space, and Deepwater Beacon, which is sort of a large tower that ensures that the boats find the right way into the harbour and don't dash themselves on the rocks of the isle. But that is off limits to the public and is a guarded by the City Watch. And so you can see this cliff that overlooks the harbour and would give you a good vantage point.
Okay, so there's no, like, careful, studied look at this. It's that sort of very aggressive, jerky head movement as he's sort of, like, dashing his perspective around to find a path up, even if he's just going to just charge at this cliff face and climb it.
Okay.
He looks for one. If he finds one, he goes for it.
You do find one. And you see that there's a path that sort of... that there is a cliff that runs along the back of this beach, the beach space that you are in. And then it sort of meets a hill that leads up to the second cliff that will give you a vantage of the city and the harbour. And you charge up this hill, and Underscum charges up the hill behind you.
I'm gonna get there first.
And some distance behind you, having some difficulty, a little bit of difficulty with the wheelchair, Wol, Ick, and Nefira are chasing, trying to catch up with you. It's not the best terrain for a wheelchair.
Wall's just gonna be grumbling. I feel like Wall, like, hit the sand and is immediately like, yeah, I put the wrong wheels.
Oh, for a second when you hit the sand, but like,
I'm like, what is he doing? Like, Wall is like fully just stopped and is like, you think he might be charmed? Like someone did a suggestion or something? Because this is weird.
It is very weird. It's also weird that thing doesn't come with like tank tracks or caterpillar treads or something for very tire unfriendly terrain.
I have tires like that back in my workshop, but I didn't know we'd be on a beach today. I thought no one told me. These are my workshop tires.
Pulls up a Dungeons and Dragons made an episode guide. No, today was meant to be the beach episode.
God dang it.
I got a bikini just in case.
Paul's gonna knock the bottom of his wheelchair and dismount the small iron defender he has and use it to pull him.
Okay.
It's like a big long crab. He just gets a bit of metal, puts on the front to like tether to his wheelchair, and it just pulls him along the beach. He just sits there looking unimpressed.
Walk like a crab, so it walks sideways.
I mean, it doesn't have a front. It's just like a disc with loads of legs on it. You know, there's like cursed Thomas the Tank Engine crab things you see. It's like that, but like without the Thomas bit. It's just the legs. Yeah, I know. It was cool when I made it. I think I was I don't know. I had a weird year.
So
that can almost be like the coolest footstool ever.
Yeah, I mean, if I had feet, you know, then
a collection of legs on a disc starts pulling wool faster across the beach, and you can see the two tire treads and the very unusual footsteps of a disc that seems to almost rotate as it walks, because that's how it's set up to walk. Crosses the beach. And
that sounds haunting.
And eventually,
he decides to thought to himself, like looking at the footprints of the treads, be like, someone's going to find this, and they are not going to know what to do. Eat your heart out, Aragon.
And a new creepypasta was written that day.
Vason
and the monkeys in the sand.
Vason and Underscum, can I get an athletics check from you both?
Yep.
Do I want to use my channel divinity for this? I mean, I only get one.
Well, that's 30 because I got a natural.
damn.
I'm gonna behave myself. So yeah, let's go for athletic. Oof! I did not roll well today. That's only a 15.
Okay. Underscum, you can see him starting to pick up this hill path, and you just let out a burst of speed as you get to the end of the beach and like launch yourself up the hill a little bit and just charge up the cliff front up to the middle of Deepwater Isle.
Fair enough, yeah.
And you get to the top of the cliff, and you can see the town to the north of you, laid out over this hill, with a mountain leading up. That you know you've been up this mountain yourself, and you see the town, and you can sort of pick out areas: the trade ward, the dock ward. You can see sort of the larger buildings of the castle ward. And some of the structures of the statues you can see from this distance: the Honourable Knight, the Griffin on the hill, the Hawkman. But you don't see any fairs or any bouncy things or any reason to be so excited. So you can't be where Vason is going yet.
No, it has to be further in.
So do you
try
just
follow whatever path there seems to be? I will follow whatever this. We're obviously on a track. We're obviously running. I'm gonna go where it goes.
So you just take off running still, and you run along.
The dumbest way to split the party.
You run along the cliff face, and this impressive side of the town layout in front of you. It doesn't mean much to you yourself. You just keep charging. There's another beach, and you find yourself charging towards it. Meanwhile, Vaesen, at this point, you little bit uneasy this morning. You get up to the top. Underscum has overtaken you, and you get to the top of the hill, and you can see him starting to continue onwards and to press on into the distance as he starts to make his way towards the second sort of alcoved beach of Deepwater Isle.
Mm.
Are you worried about this, or are you just going to keep your focus on where you were going?
Mostly keeping my focus on where I was going. Do I feel like I'm now at a point where I can get my bearings on this harbour?
This is a pretty damn good view of the harbour. It's about as high as you can get without getting on the city walls and facing issues with either having to talk the city watch into letting you in, or deal with the fact that you've got into the city walls without the city watch's acceptance.
That sounds like a them problem. No. Okay. So there's that brief moment of just like quickly assessing. Again, it's that very jerky head movement.
And you run up and you stop at the edge?
I stop at the edge. I make the assessment, and there's this brief moment of just saying, wait a minute. I look towards where Underscum's running. Is he already out of earshot?
He's approaching it at this point, especially with a 30. He's going at quite a good clip for quite a way. just however, Dragonborn Project, again, because I'm not sure the whole hand around the mouth thing quite works. There's just a shout of, come back, Underscum! You've gone too far! Underscum, you just hear not quite on the edge, because you have to go quite far for a very loud shout to not carry, especially here. It's quite quiet and quite relaxed, and the air is quite still, and the water is quite a good reflector of it, and you hear, Underscum, come back, come back, come back, come back. You've gone too far, too far, too far, too far, too far.
And so running, trying not to lose any momentum that I have.
Okay.
Are there any little sticky trees that I think I would be able to latch an arm on and basically spin round and run back?
You can make me another athletics check to find out.
Okay. Here we go. That's 14.
Okay. A little bit less graceful.
Sounds
you,
about right.
You do take a wide turn, and you manage to sacrifice very little in the way of the momentum you had going, and you just sort of reach out and grab a tree, and you realise as you take off in the other direction, you've still got a lot of tree with you. And you just charge back up the hill, and you reach back to Vaesen at about the time that Wol, Ik, and Nefira make it up the cliff from the other direction.
Do I stop in time?
You probably are okay stopping in time.
I just sort of like the idea that there's just this absent-minded peripheral vision moment of I can see Underscum, he's coming a little too fast, and there's just like a braced arm that just grabs like just gently acts as a brake. Not so that he smashes his sternum into my arm, but just so that like he hit and I break him.
I just thought what I did, mate,
team
is run and also stop in perfect space for your hand to literally just be touching my chest. It's like, what are you doing?
I thought you were going to knock me over. Anyway, we're here.
But,
Where is here? Where are we? Why are we?
There's no tents.
There's a dragon in the harbour.
What?
There is a dragon in the harbour.
I'll look at the harbour.
There's a dragon.
Look back at Vason.
Yeah, I'm. Vason's not looking at the rest of the party. He says this thing, and he's now trying to take what he can remember from that dream and find some sort of bearings as to where the hell he can go from here.
I'm going to send you a quick private message. I just want you to see.
Okay.
And he's also probably taking off his armor because he's just realized in his excitement this morning he put on his suit of armor, and it's like, I mean, I don't know how much mithril plate actually weighs, so it might not weigh particularly much and not be a problem, but like, it's 65 pounds. That's going to be difficult to swim in.
Yeah, gonna cause you some problems.
It would help you dive, though.
I guess it would help you dive, but none of us. Can you breathe underwater? Like, is that a thing is that a thing any of us can do?
No, but again, what do you mean by there's a dragon in the harbour?
Yeah, and how do you know?
Specific.
So Vason has been excited this entire time. He's just about calmed down, but he's still twitching. And as soon as he hears Wall mention, none of us can breathe underwater, it's like he's turned to stone.
Wall's putting the weird crab thing back under his chair. I mean, are we going to lure it out? Like, are we fishing? Is that what we're doing today? Can you fish for a dragon? Do dragon eats worms?
Shark.
Big enough dragon can we could call it a worm.
Well, actually, this one.
Are we here to fight it?
If it's the type of dragon I think it is, if you had a shark or a sahagwin, that might work. But we're not going dragon fishing.
So
I take issues with this.
Are we whale watching for a dragon then?
No, I'm going swimming.
Face it, you can't. I just kind of gesture like it's freezing. It's almost the end of summer. You're cold-blooded. I think. Are you cold-blooded?
I don't think Dragonborn are cold-blooded. I don't think in D&D dragons or Dragonborn are cold-blooded. You're thinking lizard folk.
Oh, I'm thinking lizard folk.
What are we doing with the dragon? What's the point with the dragon?
I was summoned.
What do you mean you were summoned?
I was summoned. The dragon came to me in my dream and said, "Come find me."
Dragons summon people.
And it didn't give you the courtesy of giving you its number. Did you not try to bring it back?
What's
or
a
like meeting you on dry land where you won't drown or freeze to death? It's still very cold in the harbour.
It must be a test. It's a trial to see if I'm worthy.
Well, I mean, or it could just be you having like a very vivid dream and then drowning.
I mean, there is a dragon in the harbour.
What do you mean? How? What?
Wait, what?
Well, there's a dragon here. I know that much.
What do you mean? There's a dragon in the harbour?
Well, there's a dragon which lives here. But it's well known around.
Let's back up a second to dragon. What kind of dragon are we talking here?
It's a big one with wings, giant big mouth, teeth.
Okay, let me put it another way. Is it a good dragon that won't kill us, or a bad dragon that will kill us?
Yeah, good point.
I think.
If you're looking at undiscovered,
well, when it comes down to it,
I'm just going to like.
I've met him before. He's not a bad one. Sort of bronzy. Hasn't hurt us before. Think it's force grey.
Force grey? Oh, that's the wizards in the city.
They're the wizards?
Yeah.
No. It's got to be something to do with the dragons.
Like, bronze dragons can breathe underwater, they live in harbours and coves and all this sort of stuff. Like, there's just a whole litany that's just, like, falling out of Asen's mouth. He probably mentioned something about whichever chromatic one can breathe underwater, because I'm pretty sure there's at least one of those. And he's very confident it's not that. And he's still taking off all the stuff, but he's trying to desperately think, who on earth would have water breathing as a type of magic? And he's like literally going, I know I don't have it. Can wool? Can artificers?
Well, I don't have it prepped today because I didn't realize you were gonna jump into the water. Also, I'm checking it out. I don't think I do have that. I mean, we could try and get a spell scroll. Like, before you go jumping into the ocean and definitely drowning, or getting eaten by a shark and or Sir Hugan, whatever you said, maybe we think about this and you put your knickers back on.
No,
Taking the knickers off.
let him dive in the water. The cold water shock might actually wake him up from this.
Or it could kill him. I
know
don't want
what?
to do CPR today.
I'm gonna do a-
pocket, flips a coin.
No.
Nah.
I can make this fall slower, but
If anyone's just seen that wisdom check I did for myself.
yep.
Yeah, Rayson just does the dive, full on dive, and as he's about to
I
hit the
can only try
water,
to grab him before he does.
oh my god, this can end badly.
Well, we're still thinking this over. I don't think him jumping in. I want to just grab his foot before he goes.
1 moment.
Are you at the top of a cliff or are you at the top of a hill? Have you just jumped?
Top of the cliff.
Oh my god! There's rocks!
Yeah, that's
Make some
a fun way
rocks!
to carry on.
And this is how Mason dies.
Please featherfall him! I featherfall, I'm gonna featherfall.
Right, I've got Featherfall as well, but I think if I could grab it, that'd be fine. It'll be alright. I've got a 10-foot grasp anyway, so just hold him out. He can't even swing out to get us. Just try and knock the grip out of the way.
I feel like John's thinking about something here.
I was thinking, this is what I had planned today. But
Just wait for the whole point where I grab you and I go down immediately after you, just holding onto your ankle.
Okay, Underscum, make me a athletics check.
Right, sure. I'm not going to go ragey, I'm going to just go straight with it. 20, dirty.
Vason, as you attempt to move towards diving, Underscum reaches out to grab you. Are you gonna let him grab you, or do you wish to try to resist?
I'm going to resist, and I'm also going to use Peerless Athlete. I'm about to dive into water. I'm going to need to do what best I can in the time that I've got when I'm in there, because I know I can't breathe. I'm still a little manic, but this much sense is in there. The sensible side of the brain is waking up.
Make me an athletics check with whatever bonuses you get from Peerless Athlete.
Just check that in there. So I get advantage on athletics, acrobatics checks. And my jumping is like an extra 10 feet. So don't worry, I will be able to jump very clear of these rocks. But yeah, athletics with advantage. I need to do that with. I does not that. Yeah, do that and advantage. So 26.
I feel like your whole thing, as you jump, you mutter to yourself, Bahamut, give me strength beyond strength.
That's not how my faith works. It's not about Bahamut. But yeah, no.
I wonder who it's about.
We can talk about that later. Right now, I'm in midair.
I'm casting featherfalling on you.
Okay, yeah, Underscum, you reach out to grab Vason, and Vason just sort of uses your momentum forward to launch himself off of you and away from the edge of the cliff. Without a running start, he leaps out 19 feet and turns into a perfect swan dive towards the water.
I was just gonna say, last time we got potions of water breathing.
Featherfall. Wait, who from? Well, I was just casting Featherfall, was looking at on the scum now. Just waiting for the basin to very slowly hit the water.
So
It was
Vason,
working for some people. We got it from others.
as
Do you remember their names?
We got it
Nehru?
from black stuff.
Oh,
I think
black
you're
stuff.
listening.
Oh, I know the black stuff.
Yeah, he gave us some potions of water for you. So we could go see the dragon.
Vason, as you turn into this swan dive towards the water, you suddenly feel yourself falling slower than you should. Diving down towards the water, the water's coming up to meet you very slowly, but it is still coming up to meet you. But it is, luckily, water that is coming up to meet you. Not any jagged rocks at the edge, not a beach that was hidden away. You leap out far enough and you'd look down enough beforehand to make sure that you were positioned in a position to hit the water. And as you slowly break the water, you feel, first of all, very cold water that you have dived into. But it is quite deep. Even at this position, it's a very deep water. Hence the name of the town.
I was gonna
Water shit.
cast levitate on him.
Oh no, this is very annoying.
I mean,
Oh,
you can make a saving throw if you want. I don't know what kind of.
What is the saving throw?
I don't know. I'm having to check right now because normally it's like a friend spell. It's then it's for an ally. Oh, that's invisibility. Where's levitate? Here's levitate. Actually, is it? Oh, it's Constitution saving throw.
What's the range on this? 60 foot. How high is this cliff?
He's close enough.
Okay. So it's a Constitution saving throw. Okie doke. I think I just hit saving throw. 24.
24. I'm like, oh, god damn it.
While you reach out to try and to pull Vason out of the water, but the spell doesn't connect with anything.
How could you miss him with that? He was falling so slowly and
I know
so
he-
gracefully.
He resisted. Just gonna sigh and be like, I'm just gonna turn it on. I'm just gonna be like, so do you remember where this person was that had the water breathing potions, or he's gonna come back at some point, probably. I'm not following him.
Not
No,
particularly. I don't
yeah,
know
but-
exactly where.
yeah.
I think we sort of met him along the way, and he sort of came to us. Because usually they tell come to us or they tell us where to meet them. You know, there are a few times. So, no. Maybe.
Underscum, you do recall that this was one of the times that you and you were called to meet at Blackstaff Tower. This was one of the missions that you would have gone on as Gimbal had asked
I know
you.
this was the time I wasn't there.
Possibly it was a time that you weren't actually in attendance,
Yeah.
but
yeah, that's it. Yes, we went to the Blackstaff Tower.
I'm like, oh, that's the Mage's Academy. I'm gonna shout over the edge and be like, so, Joe, are you gonna come up?
How's he looking swimming?
I mean, I expect him underwater at this point.
Just like shit.
So yeah, my whole idea is I would, based on whatever directions I found for myself, I want to just swim as hard as I can in that direction, to a depth where I feel like I can still get to the surface and not pass out.
okay.
Even aware that like I have channeled my divinity, so I've got advantage on
On
athletics checks for 10 minutes. So I've got about five or so minutes to really have a look and to do whatever the hell I can to be like, Cabe! In this complete mad dash nonsense.
So if Facey doesn't come back, do we call dibs on his armor?
So
It's just they throw me on the floor.
We're
would
not
you
calling
say
dibs on
that?
it. Like that.
Why would you say that? I was just warming up to you. Why would you say that?
Because the crazy dragonborn just dived off a cliff into freezing cold water.
Yeah, like
That is no excuse.
I am kind of on Nefira's side here. I reckon like Mithro's really like good for scrap. Like I'm just saying.
That is it. You are not. You are not. You. Yeah.
When he jumped into the water, like how long are we giving him?
Well, let's find out.
I'm thinking as well. I'm gonna now dive off. I'm gonna go dive in to help him getting angry as I'm doing so. I'm going to rage as I rage dive.
I'm just gonna just watch.
okay.
I have some sandwiches in my bag if you guys want to sit up here and have a bit of a picnic.
I'm down for that. Oh, have you got a pen or something? I've thought something brilliant.
Could
yeah,
you?
sure.
Okay, Underscum. you start to see red, and you leap out from the edge of the cliff, and try to jump out as far as you can, as far as Vason did. Could you make me an athletics check, please?
Yep.
Do you take a running start as you jump?
Pretty much. I've just bolted for it so I can go and save him.
Okay. Cool.
And with that, because of the rage, I'll get advantage on that. I mean, that's 25.
Oh, those are nice rolls, even with your plus 10.
Oh, yeah, 25 as I launch myself off.
So you launch yourself into the air, and you go flying through the air and head into a dive, and you head out the same distance that he did, because you took a running start and he just jumped off of you. Do you, or does anybody else, cast Featherfall on Underscum as he plummets towards the water?
No,
What is like in the process
Sarah is
of
busy doing something.
we're in the process of setting up a picnic. I have a blanket. Actually, I have a thermos of tea. Chakov made it. He's actually really good at making tea.
Okay.
You'd be surprised how
In which
good
case, I am going to cast Featherfall on myself.
As at this point, if they
Literally, as
were
I'm
built,
starting getting close as I possibly can, so I keep as much speed as possible going all the way down.
Okay.
Oh my god.
At the last minute, you drop the rage and can concentrate on spell casting, and you realise, yeah, I need to slow down a bit. And the Featherfall takes over, and you slows down, and you break the water gracefully with barely a ripple as you dive into its.
What can I say? I'm graceful.
Dive in. Now.
and on the back of Vason's breastplate, Nefira has scribbled in pen 9.5.
Now,
Nice.
Vason.
Yep.
You dive in and you take a deep breath of air before you do. And you, as a dragonborn, have no special ability to breathe underwater. And similarly, Underscum, as a bugbear, you have no special ability to breathe underwater. Vason, you can hold your breath for 3 minutes. Underscum, you can hold your breath for 2. So,
well, I guess.
So, Vason, you swim down,
Yeah, so I'm swimming like as aggressively and as quickly as I can, essentially using like the channel divinity, actively just being like, I need to go faster than I could normally do this, swim better than I normally do, and what is that spell that I made sure I prepared this morning? I'm going to, when I get towards... Oh, actually, wait, I can use enhance ability as well, can't I? Bull strength would be redundant because I've used my...
Yeah, you can't get
already.
double advantage, so...
Sadly, yeah. If I use Bear's Endurance, would I be able to use that increase in Constitution to improve my breathing?
No. You...
Worth a try. I was just trying to see if I could wriggle something, but yeah.
Oh no, sorry, I made a mistake. I looked at the wrong line of this. Vaesen, you can breathe underwater for 4 minutes. Underscum, you've got 3 minutes.
Right.
And then we'll need to... At the end of those 3 minutes, I'll need to roll initiative. If you're not in a place where you can breathe.
I would like to rage as well. Now I'm stunned.
Okay, you rage again, and you can see Vaesen under the water, already a little bit of a distance down, swimming like a peerless swimmer.
I would like to rage swim after him.
And you angrily claw your way through the water. No real technique to it. Vaesen is cutting a impressive line as he dives under the water, and you're just pulling bodily your way through the water, just angry at everything. Could I get athletics checks, both at advantage?
Cool. Happily. Athletics with advantage. Oof. Not my day today.
Not mine either.
Okay, you both swim down for about a minute, and no real difference between how far down each of you is. You both swim a good distance, and there's still a little bit of a gap between you. Do you guys want to make me a perception check as well as we get to the end of the first minute?
Yes, please. There you go.
Right.
17.
20. Dirty.
Okay. I need to check a stat real quick.
I rage see.
Okay, you both pull yourself down and look round, and you start to get to the point where the bottom of the water is starting to be visible through it. It's quite a way down, but there is it's starting to swim into focus at this point. And you can see several shipwrecks dotted around the bottom of the harbour, where it's ships have wrecked and it's not been economical to pull up the remains.
Do these look like the ones from my dream?
And they look very similar to the ones in your dream, and you both see a dark shape dart between one to the next.
How far away would I say these ships are?
You're not going to reach them without having to come up for air.
Okay.
But you could get close, and you might be able to draw something's attention if you make some good rolls, and depending on how safely you want to get back to the surface.
Well, we've got an angry bugbear and a borderline fanatic paladin, so I don't think sensible is going to be all that relevant. But what I am going to do is I'm going to cast. How long does that last? Cool. I'm going to cast Bless on myself and Underscum.
Okay.
To use that spell slot up, which will give us both advantage on a saving throw. So I expect one of those is going to be coming up.
Okay.
And I definitely can hear that swimming. It's angry swimming.
Yeah, it's not secretive swimming behind you. You didn't hear him dive into the water as such, because the graceful feather fall suppressed a lot of splash, but the just pulling through the water, you can hear that quite clearly. With Bless, there is a verbal component.
Oh, there is, isn't there?
So, you can cast it underwater, but it is going to lessen the amount of time you can stay underwater.
As an idea, if I can get close enough, and whether you would allow this, John.
Okay.
Considering, as I'm reading this, it doesn't mention anything about someone being able to say, or there being a verbal component. To effectively, if I get close enough, gain your attention, effectively looking at you with a great big thumbs up and a fist bump, and give you bardic inspiration.
That I will allow.
Congratulations, you now have bardic inspiration, Basin.
Yay!
As the angry bugbear just comes side by side with you.
Yeah, I'm going to. It's going to be like the most mumbly version of Bless
Okay.
that's ever been mumbled to minimize the amount of air that I lose. But I'm going to commit to that Bless casting
Okay.
for myself and Underscum because it seems right and in character, even if a bit wasteful in terms of air. But that's going to be followed by me swimming essentially towards the ground and the ships at the same time. And the whole idea is Vason's going to get to the bottom, cross his legs into essentially a meditation pose under the water, and essentially just pray out to this dragon that I think is here.
Okay.
Like, it asked me to come here, and so I'm going to try and just commune with it through the water.
Roll me...
Whilst channeling my divinity.
So you've got... you're about a minute under the water now. You've been under the water for about a minute. You've got 4 minutes that you can hold your breath for. Underscum, you've got 3, and you can feel it starting to be a problem for you.
For the sake that I know we're trying to gain the attention of something, or it seems to be gaining the attention of the fact that he's gone into sort of, and we're trying to potentially, if we can gain the attention of the dragon, as far as I can remember, I am going to grab the Staff of Prisms.
Okay.
And, oh no, I can't because I need to. Did you say we're close to the ground? Or we're not close to the ground?
You're not close to the ground yet.
Yeah, I was going to do that for this quote
How far
round.
away are we from the ground?
How deep is deep water harbor Waterdeep?
Questions you never thought you'd need to know. Well, you know, like, harbors want to be deep, but they don't want to be too deep. It's sort of a weird catch-22.
I do love that we're now just giving things up. John has to actually search to find the answers.
Again,
Is
I
this
think
where
John
John
had,
put
had
the-
a nice plan for tonight. We'd happily go to the Bane.
Just
fight the dragon.
throwing that
No.
plan away.
Oh, sorry. I'm just doing
It's
what's
just
in
that I have
character.
something which, once again, doesn't make any mention of the verbal component. But taking a look, it does require me to slam it into the ground.
Okay, no, that's not deep. Okay. It's apparently very clear water,
Oh,
so that's nice to know.
as well, we can see so well. We can see the big shadow disappearing between the boats.
Really wish somebody would tell me how deep the water is, though.
You could always Google how deep a harbor is and then add a bit.
How deep is a harbor? How big is a harbor porpoise seal?
Also good to know. But it's almost like you weren't prepared for this, John.
It's almost like I didn't think you'd dive off a cliff into the harbour and attempt to swim to the bottom.
Well, if it wasn't for the sake of them basically saying they're going to fleece him for everything which he's got, which he's dived in the water and he might die.
He is gonna die at this rate.
He's going to die because I'm going to spend so long looking up how deep the harbour is.
You would be like, yeah, I'm sick of this shit. You die, Vason.
Oh.
Okay, what's
Yeah,
that?
I'm
in
not finding
feet?
anything either.
Okay, so what is your movement? You both got Underscum, you've got 40 feet movement, right?
No, I have 30.
30. Both of you have 30 feet. Oh yeah, because you've not
Yeah.
got fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Peerless
it's,
Athlete increases my high jump and my long jump, but I don't think that's particularly relevant. My carry, push, drag, and lift is doubled. I don't know if you'd consider anything of that relevant for swimming.
No, but what I will say is you are actually about 50 feet from the bottom of the harbour. You will
Is
get...
that from dashing as we've been swimming? Then?
Yes.
Very good.
You would get there in the next 30 seconds or so if you continue to swim at the same speed.
Basically, my aim is to try and swim down as fast as I can then. And as you're... Because by the time I get down there, you'll definitely be down there, getting yourself in position. I want to get behind you and slam the Staff of Prisons down to expel for a Bifrost bridge to come out, and I want it to go directly up. So it basically becomes like a giant billboard right behind you.
Okay. Roll me another set of athletics
100
checks.
feet up. So we need what, sorry?
Another athletics check, both of you at advantage, and thank for that advantage.
That could have been very bad.
That is 18.
Okay, Vason, you keep swimming down, and with the mumbling of the bless, this one's a little bit slower. You go a little bit slower this time. Underscum, you make it down to the bottom, and you sort of float above the bottom of the harbour, and you slam the staff into the ground, and Vaesen, just as you're getting down, Underscum slams the staff down, and this rainbow shoots back up about halfway up to the surface. And at the top, Wol and Nefira and Ick, you're just enjoying this picnic, and you see a slight glimmer through the water of rainbow light just playing on the surface of the water.
Just turn to Nefira and be like, do you reckon they're fighting under there, or...
I doubt it, although I would suspect they're having a bit of a bromance.
Fair. Do you want a crisp? I've got some crisps.
Oh, have you got any cheese and onion?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
I'll give, fuck, what's that? Nippler, what's his called?
Ick.
Ick. I'll give Ick some, prawn cocktail ones.
Ick enjoys the crisps. Not having had crisps before. Vaesen, you pull yourself into a lotus position. And do you close your eyes to concentrate on this, or do you keep...
I think he's probably going to keep his eyes open.
Okay.
Because he needs to... The whole idea is to know that he turns up, and if he closes his eyes, waits till he can't breathe and there's nothing there, he's wasting time of trying not to be dead. So he does keep his eyes open. But essentially, he's thinking and praying as loudly as he can in his head.
Okay.
And I think basically he's going to... I know this isn't strictly how D&D's magic works, but effectively channeling the equivalent of a second level spell slot, he's going to throw that energy into this prayer to see if that just acts like a signal flare on top of what's been done already.
Okay.
And
roll me another perception check, both of you.
This is where it's something very nasty in this water. Ah! Curse my +2.
19.
You both sort of settle in and actually, let me check this first. Underscum.
Yep.
You get down to the bottom within 30 seconds, and you quickly slam the staff into the ground and send up this Bifrost flare. And you do the quick... Maths in your head is probably not the right thing for a raging barbarian. But you come to realize that the amount of time you've taken to get down is about how long you've got left to hold your breath. Do you head back up at this point?
I just think I've come down for Vaesen. I'm staying with Vaesen.
Okay. You see the number of shipwrecks and a large shape in the distance kicks off, and dust just billows out from the bottom and obscures vision, and you see this shadow cutting through the water. And then, Vaesen, your concentration focuses entirely on this shape cutting through the water coming towards you. Underscum, you spot another shape, and then another, two smaller shapes converging on you from basically behind Vaesen. They're a little distance out, but they are getting close to you, and they're getting close to you quite quickly. They seem to have spotted the the large Bifrost signal.
Right. I'm going to pay my attention to them.
Okay.
We're still holding the breath.
Vason,
Gonna pull out my hammer.
Vason, as it gets closer, you see the shine of scale, bronze scales, cutting through the water, and a young bronze dragon, green markings along its scales, and bright green eyes, lands in front of you. What are you doing down here?
I sort of change my pose to, I guess, a kneel. Essentially, something that looks reverential. Oh God, I can't speak. I continue with what I was doing before to try and communicate with it. Because I assume it's a big ass dragon. It can probably read my mind. Let's go with that. I'd just say I was summoned. And if there's no response, I will have to deal with that.
It looks at you for a few seconds. Ah, you can't breathe. And it scoops you up. And it scoops up Underscum. And it just... and it darts upwards, and the two smaller shapes converge and swim upwards in sort of a helix behind it.
Ooh.
And on the surface, it hands you back an empty packet of crisps, Wall.
I'll take it back. Like, oh, thanks, Ick. And then I'll put the waste in a little side pouch. And I don't know. I've got a thermos of tea. I'm dispensing it out and be like, so I want to get something for Chakov because, I don't know, try and make him like feel welcome, I guess. I mean, obviously with the whole Underscum thing, maybe that's not gonna be possible, but is there anything that Drow like that you would have liked? Are you from the Underdark originally, or?
No. I'm from further north.
Oh.
Like Spindale originally.
Oh, that's a long way.
It was quite a trek.
Mm.
And there's a sudden... and a plume of water just... and it starts just raining down back on you. And it's like you're in the... you've gotten too close to a log flume.
I was just like sit there like... sigh.
And you
I
look...
was aiming to finish that sandwich, but now nobody likes a soggy sandwich.
No one likes a soggy sandwich.
Kicks it into the water.
You look over the edge and you can see the head, shoulders, and wingspan of a bronze dragon placing Vason and Underscum onto the beach below.
Oh, shit, there is a dragon in the bay.
Well, I guess he's not insane. I mean, he is, but not... Have we enabled him? I think we're enabling him.
I honestly don't know, although I just realised one terrible thing at this point. You don't get that mithril for scrap.
Is that... Or maybe the dragon's still going to eat him or something.
No, let's go give them their stuff back.
I don't want to go down the cliff. How am I going to get back up? I'm going to stay here. You can go down if you want to.
How far away are they from us, roughly?
They're just sort of on the beach next to the cliff at the moment. The dragon is sort of staying in the water. Its lower body is in the water, and it's sort of, as it's placed them down, it's lowered itself back in, so as if the head of a dragon peering out of the water is somehow inconspicuous.
I shall wave to the dragon head and be like, "Hi, apologies for the two idiots. They're not dead, are they?"
No.
No, you can't take his items.
My name is Zelifern. What were you doing down there?
This is all going to be in Draconic, so I do apologize for all those of you who do not speak Draconic. Mighty Zelifan, last night I was granted a dream, a vision, a summoning of sorts into this to come to this harbor to find yourself or one of your kin that lives in this harbor. I know nothing more than that, but I was compelled. I had to come.
What approaches a smile spreads across the dragon's face. Yes. You speak the tongue of my kind. Little dragon. You must be here for my latest find. Wait here. And the dragon head disappears under the water.
Oh no, don't tell me we've got to go down it.
I just put my hand up in a very clear shut the fuck up gesture towards Underscum.
And at this point, two more figures burst through the surface, and you see two, a male and a female figure, but with blue skin, fins in place of the hair, sort of run down the back of the head. Large black eyes, just no pupil, no iris, just black pits in their face. Fin, gills opening on the neck, and they just swim over. You bring the light under the water.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. We needed to get the attention of the dragon of Zillifer. I had to do what I needed to do,
He has
Sorry if I disturbed you.
He has been most useful. He is helpful in clearing up the wreckages of the ships.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, he's a very nice dragon in comparison to many of the stories I've heard of others. A good ally to hold onto your side.
He is very enthusiastic in his work.
Are these two
Always good
tritons?
quality.
These are merfolk.
Ooh.
You can see now through the clear water their fish-like tails, where their legs should be. Large blue hands with fins protruding from the elbows and webbed fingers, adorned with various pieces of shell and seaweed and various treasures, shiny gold trinkets just strapped into into their belts and things that cover their anatomy.
Sorry for pulling my hammer on you. It's very hard to tell whether you're friend or foe when you can't speak.
If you visit again, we would be welcoming, as long as you are friend.
You've got yourself a good friend in Underscum. You seem kind enough. I'd love to have another visit down there. Perhaps when I can breathe, though.
Second that.
Ooh. So how long have you been living with the dragon, then?
He has been here for a few months. We got word from the Black Staff that he was to be trusted.
Yes.
She sent a group to investigate his entry into the town.
Well, not to blow a trumpet and all that lot, but you know, I'm one of the ones. Like to believe I could see the good in others. And that one seemed good. Mind you, I think it was the others who really made the decision at the end of the day, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
You were also involved.
Yeah. Oh, someone's got to carry the heavy stuff.
There was a very short, sharp, slightly confused moment for several reasons from Vason. One, because you've met it before. What? And two, seeing, like, in his head, seeing the good in people after the last couple of days.
At this point, the Fuhrer probably
None
end
of this
up
is
going
said.
down to
It's
the
just
beach,
visible on his
probably
face.
at the line of carrying all the heavy things. It's like, speaking of heavy things,
Hey,
Thank you.
you might want your clothes back on.
Can I? I'm gonna let myself dry off first. I also don't know if I'm about to be dragged underwater, so that might be very unhelpful.
So, there are many of you down there.
We have a community under there, yes.
Well, if you ever need anything or need help, you can always get in touch with us.
We have ways of dealing with the surface folk. We have
Well, if
an
they ever get out of hand,
understanding.
you let us know.
We are paid handsomely for our work.
Well, that's the thing. We all have our skills. And I certainly know that most of the people up here do not have your abilities for being down there.
Yes. We guard the harbour. We clean the boats. We recover the sunken vessels.
In which case, you certainly bring a lot of weary souls, a lot of peace, because they might be able to see a part of which was left behind,
We
or might not have
try.
made it. It's very good of you.
Thank you for bringing the light under the water. It was an interesting thing to see.
It is a pleasure.
And the two of them
Glad it wasn't. You.
dive back under the water.
Till next time.
So, are Merfolk just interested in bright lights, or is it specifically because it went all Bifrosty?
I don't know. I assumed you two had a bromance down there, considering we saw the rainbow effect up here.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, I'm just gonna go lie down on the ground for a moment.
This is sort of like a look from Vason to Underscum. I'm just like, and it's just like, there's mutual himbo energy here, but it's not that sort of himbo energy.
There's a bit of a cross look towards Thera. Just, you know, thinking things. And then just sort of relaxes and catches breath again.
The shadow of something moving under the water suddenly starts to form, and then and the dragon re-emerges and places a delicately wrapped leather package onto the beach. This was recovered from a sunken boat last night. I believe it is due for you.
Ooh. Again, another sort of like reverential bow, and Vason walks along to the package, and just sort of in Draconic asks, "May I open it?"
I believe it is yours.
Okay. In my essentially the equivalent of just like a completely drenched linen shirt, he just sort of unwraps whatever is in this package
And
to see what's inside.
you unwrap a greatsword.
The Dragon Delivery Service.
You unwrap a greatsword, and instantly you recognize it from pictures that you have seen at your monastery. This is Scale Edge, a weapon that has, up until a few years ago, been a great weapon of the champion of your monastery. You know some of the stories of previous wielders of Scale Edge, as it has been with your monastery for about 8 generations at this point. The might of this weapon brought a city to ruin. A previous wielder led an army and used this weapon to destroy a lich. It was wielded in far distant lands and is of elemental origin, the blade itself forged of steel, with an elegant embellishment of the city being brought to ruin carved into it.
There's just sort of this like speechless look back up towards sorry, I've forgotten the dragon's name.
Zelapharn.
Zelapharn. And you say this is for me?
This was found last night, and the same night you have a vision telling you to come and find it. This is clearly meant for you to wield.
I am honoured. I am beyond honoured. I don't know what honoured beyond honoured would be in any tongue.
Very honoured.
Essentially, I bow again and then start stepping backwards without turning round. At which point, like, I do lift it over my shoulder, so it's very clear for everyone who's behind me to actually see what this is. In terms of a great sword.
Okay.
And just sort of, as he sort of gets some distance, asks again in Draconic, "May I come visit your lair? If I may be so bold."
You may.
At some point.
But not now. For you cannot breathe there.
Fair point.
And it would be very unfitting end for a champion. Seeking glory, ending drowned.
True that. Oh, I don't actually know what else that Jason could say. I think he's just stuck there, lost for words.
Oh, I forgot to rename it on D&D Beyond. Give me a moment, I'm going to rename it and then give it to you.
And so at this point, the Imperial's going to look at him like, wow, that is a shiny sword.
Oh, giddy aunt.
So, how much does it cost you for that moonstone sword?
About £7.
And how much buyer's remorse do you have?
I was thinking whether or not I got a receipt.
Is it considered good manners to return a weapon when you found a better one the next day?
I'm pretty sure there's like a divine gift clause in every sales contract in Waterdeep.
So, to give you the full details of Scale Edge as you become attuned to it. One, it requires attunement by a paladin of the monastery of Zorquan.
Yes.
Which you are.
Yep.
Scale Edge is a great sword that has been in the followers of Zorquan monastery for 8 generations. Legends tell of a time when it was used to bring a city to ruins by a previous wielder who led a mighty army. It was used in far distant lands to rid them of a lich. The blade of the sword is carved of elemental steel, and an embellishment has been added showing a worthy of Zorquan slaying the lich.
Gotta ask you one question. You've said the word still twice. I'm assuming that's not steel, because you said it twice on purpose.
It is steel.
What is still? Okay.
It is steel.
Thought still was going to be some cool magic metal for a second then. I was like, what's that?
You have a +1 to attack and damage rolls while wielding Scale Edge. If you deal Divine Smite with this, you can choose to add an additional d8 of radiant damage to the Divine Smite. When you are reduced to 0 hit points, you can immediately make an additional attack with Scale Edge before you fall unconscious.
Oh my god.
Those are the current abilities of Scale Edge.
That's my favourite way you could have phrased that.
Yes, there is a pointed reason that I phrased it that way.
Because it's going to do absolutely nothing else afterwards.
Oh my god.
Yeah, what was going to say?
It's just micro cracks throughout the entire thing. The second he swings it, it's just going to shatter.
Immediately.
Oh, I would get in so much trouble. Oh my lord.
Oh, it's going to be like the swords you used to buy from Comic Cons and things like that, where they're like really cheaply made. It's going to be that scene from Paul, like one swing, it's just going to snap in half.
I'm going to have to write this name down so I don't keep forgetting it. Is the dragon still surfaced?
Yes.
I'm just going to stand there completely speechless until I'm addressed. And if he doesn't address me before leaving, when he leaves, there's just going to be this very graceless moment as Mason just falls down like a sack of potatoes.
In Elvish, I think he's trying to say thank you. The brain is still trying to come around.
Is he
Or like rolling down the hill by this point.
You think starstruck's what it is. How you doing, Zelly? All right?
Yeah.
Hey, settling in nicely?
We are employed now.
Yeah, know that one.
We work
all good work.
with the merfolk of Tharquelnar.
And they seem quite nice as well. They treat you well.
Yes, we get to keep the treasures if they're not wanted elsewhere.
I don't know how important that was to you. It's a fair trade, really, isn't it?
We like treasure.
Who doesn't? Who
We
doesn't?
like finding treasure.
I'd fill up the hunt. Well,
That one
I think
coming down
was
the
it?
hill. He's on wheels.
Ew.
Is that normal?
He's for him.
That's interesting. I like
Yeah.
that.
Have a good word. Might make you some.
I don't
Is
think
it-
whales will do good under the water.
Oh, dear. Hard to say. Have you ever tried?
No. Maybe we should.
I mean, there used to be a thing called a paddle boat. I mean, surely that would work underwater.
I'm just kind of like, I mean, I guess so, but if you can swim, fine. I don't. Do you want wheels underwater?
I
feel like they'd
don't
be
see
quite
the
expensive and heavy.
point.
Hmm.
But wheels on land. That makes sense. We're not allowed in the city.
No, yeah. That's one bit I do remember. But then again, we all understand. I mean, they just about let me in there.
Yeah.
But so surely some of your trying to think of a good way of putting this, but like your size in Dragon Age would be able to shapeshift into something smaller.
Not yet. Even
Okay,
so, we're not allowed in the city.
Well, you let us know the day that you can. And we'll go and we'll celebrate one way. We might have a word. See if we can
Even
convince you.
shapeshifted.
You're a good sort. And if they see that, and that's if they actually find a way to let you in, I know that it's there for protection. And
It is better.
they've got us some kind of invisible thing of magic and all that lot, but
Yes.
yeah, we'll celebrate one other way. If we're still around, that is. Don't know wonders about.
We shall see you again, I'm sure.
Of course. Well, with this one who's still awestruck staring at you, I think there's no doubt of that at all.
Are you
At this point,
sure
if we were
he's
going to
alright?
stand in front of facing like to the whole hand wave in front of his eyes, snap his fingers.
It's okay. I'm here. I think that's actually said in Draconic because he's still not quite there. So he's just saying it in his native tongue, which is Draconic, and just like, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, look back to the dragon. That
He
sounded
says
like your
he's
thing.
okay.
I looking at him, just come. I like him.
Yeah. He's a nice one when it comes down to it. Glad we got that nice deal.
He switches to Draconic for a second and... Good luck seeking glory, Glory Hunter.
Thank you, Great One.
We hope to be a great one day. For now, I'm going to crack more ships open.
I think that's the moment where Vason just cracks out laughing, like breaks out laughing.
And
His brain broke.
Xenophon just disappears back under the water.
I don't know why, but that last one sounded horrifying.
Oh, you're just gonna tear ships apart to find treasure. You know, dragon things.
Okay,
Pretty
so
much his
it's
job,
50%.
really, but there we go.
It was 50% terrifying. That's fine. Oh, Underscum. That reminds me. I've got your score here, and I'm going to hold up Jason's breastplate.
What was his score?
He got a 9.5.
Oh, very nice. Wait, what's my
I was
score?
Well, I don't know what kind of score it was. They were going to take your gear.
If he
And
didn't
leave
come
you.
back,
I mean, if you drowned, which we thought you probably were,
Mm.
You know.
Some allies you are.
it was meant as a joke.
You know what? I'd rather it stayed with the group. I mean, if I die, this is going to the monastery. I'm saying this now, with all of you present. This goes to my monastery. You can keep the rest of it. This goes home.
I will see to it personally. I guarantee you.
I mean, let's not make any
Taking another
promises.
look back over the other two. I guarantee it. Full stop. Well, time to head back, I suppose.
Well, that was a fun beach episode.
Shame there was no fair, though. I was looking forward to that.
Just like the idea that in the background of this, Ick just like runs down the beach with an ice cream in one hand and like a bucket and spade that he's found somewhere.
I stare at him, just like, where the earth did you find
Out of the entirety of Waterdeep, one hedge seller was doing ice cream.
It's the latest
Well, I
thing
mean-
in from Mirabar.
I've been doing strawberry sundaes for months. I don't understand this place. Take me back north.
And with that, we'll call this to a close. This wasn't what I was expecting to happen for the entire session. At some point, we'll get back to the dungeon of the Mad Mage.
To be fair, I think we're going to be getting. Next one's going to be the debate on, whether drow are actually all right or not.